morning. Another vlog for you. So today I have to take photos for Balesa, but also I need to get these photos approved today and then sent out and like posted tomorrow. So that's what I'm going to be doing. They just sent me a bunch of the toys that they want me to be featuring, so I'm gonna unwrap those. And yeah, oh, also I got a new hoodie from one of the studios that I work at. So hard candy. It's cute. It'll be nice to live in a different hoodie that's not the usual Dance Till We Die one, the one that is my merch. So it'll be good to have kind of like a little switch up. I bought these flowers. Originally, I got them for my altars, but I do think I'm going to be using them for photos. And because I have a bunch of cherry juice left over from those nasty gummies that I tried to make in the last vlog, I'm just kind of like playing around with different types of mocktails at this point. So I've got like lemon juice and some simple syrup in this. I'm going to do a little bit of cherry juice and like this trying out. It's kind of good. It's weird by itself. It's definitely not good like Three Spirits is. Three Spirits is really good by itself, but this one, not so much, in my opinion. But mixed with things, I don't think it's too bad. Okay. My hair is a fucking mess today. So I'm gonna be taking a bunch of photos for these and like unboxing them. So stay tuned because these are new toys that they sent me compared to the last ones that you've seen. So if you're interested in those and enjoy the last giveaways that I did on the other videos where they sponsored those videos, stay tuned. I also really need to repaint my nails because they are a mess right now, and if I'm going to be holding up products, you know, it's probably good to not have one nail missing. Like, what's going on there? The process is always chaotic for me. It's always a mess. I'm not actually as organized as I think people assume that I am. You'd be wrong. Okay, we're taking these photos in my closet because I don't really have another space to take these right now, nor do I have the time with such short notice to set anything else up. So closet photos it is. Honestly, I think they want, or I don't know if they prefer, which they're not getting from me, is just like phone selfies, but the photographer in me can't do it. Like, if you want product photos, I'm gonna give you product photos. If anybody's curious, there's like a guideline of things that people want influencers to do anytime they take photos and whatnot for their products. And for this particular one, it has to be like natural sun lighting, looking and facing towards the camera, and then the product in view, and it has to be like a almost headshot, like a medium shot for this particular brand. So it's kind of like, you know, a cool little challenge, I guess, as a photographer in order to kind of just try to figure out how to do that. Okay. So we're gonna move these out of the way. Or maybe just totally off. Oh yeah, okay. Oh, sorry, Bean. Alright, got a red dress for Valentine's Day, because that's the vibe. Blank wall here is what we're going to be working with. Look at that. Day in, day out, treacherous blues, calling my name on you, let me feel that'll do it. I'm gonna edit these. Like, being that Bellesa is really only looking for a selfie at minimum, they'll probably be fine. But my standards are higher and I want better photos than just a selfie. So, not that that like demeans anybody. Like if anybody's just posted selfies, that's what they ask for. So that's just the thing. But I wanted to make something a little more creative. Like I wanted to make like a Valentine's Day-y, classic red lip, all that stuff. But I'm not sure how I'm gonna make these look like how I want them to. And also in that closet, because that closet's like ridiculously large for no reason, there's 2 windows in there and it gets some really nice light at a certain time of day. And I really wish that I had the sunlight in there. So I wonder if I can just like learn how to Photoshop that in. They're over here like wanting me to send in like just a photo with my face and the toy, and I'm like, I wonder if I can Photoshop something and make this more complicated than it needs to be. I also want it like Polaroid-y. Like I want it like on film or Polaroid type of photo because I think it'd be cute, and then maybe add like some writing of like Happy Valentine's Day or something like that. You know, I think that would be super cute. So maybe, I don't know, we'll see what we come up with. Okay, so this was the original photo. And then I have this bit here that I obviously don't want from the closet, and then I have this bit here as well. And like I said, I kind of want it to look like from film, or just I kind of want to reduce the quality actually, because I feel like the quality right now isn't that great. So I changed a lot of things. I took out this, I kind of shittily took that out, and I like how contrasted, like I almost like how it took the quality back a little bit. And I think I'm gonna throw this into Canva and try to see what I can do and make it into a little Valentine's Day card type of thing. Same thing with these flower ones. Like I really liked this flower one. This was the original, and then this is the edited version. So obviously I took these out. So I think I'm gonna see if I can add strips of light and, you know, deceive. Okay, so I messed with it in Canva. I think this is the final thing for YouTube. So I'm gonna post something on my YouTube community is what they want, and then also something on my Instagram. So I sent this over and they said that they really liked it. So that's awesome. And then this is what I came up with in Photoshop after watching a couple of different YouTube videos. It wasn't too hard. It was just like trying to figure out the technique that worked the best for me. But I feel like it came out realistic enough. I feel like, you know, if you looked at this, you would probably believe that that is totally like rays of sunshine coming through a window, a strange random window. And so I like it. I think maybe I would have warmed it up a little more. Maybe I should warm it up a little more, but like, I don't think it's really worth it that much. Like it was just some random photo that I wanted to take with, you know, some flowers for Valentine's Day. That's done, so that's good. And yeah, the editing process. Frankie showed me how they tie their veils a few vlogs ago, and I've been playing with it. This style of tying the veil doesn't usually match how I'm dressed, but I love the way that it looks. It's just my style doesn't usually call for a longer veil like this. It's like, I think the short tie of just bandanas work better for me, but I really like this. So I think I'm gonna take some photos just in front of my new herbal work area altar thing. And then I also need to do some of the Patreon readings. I think I'm going to do the rest of this month because I'm a little behind. I'm also just going to be doing some divination and probably some very light spell work. When things get busy for me, my practice is one of the first things that always gets put on the back burner. Like, not completely, obviously. I don't think that I know how not to practice at this point in my life. Like, it's all the little mundane things, just, like tea or cooking or showering, cleansing, just very, very simple day-to-day things still are implemented in general. But my like heavier handed things of doing full spell work, of setting things up, of doing full rituals, of being able to consistently keep up with my spirit contracts and things like that get a little harder. Obviously, the spirit contracts are the priority of those things, and I still figure out how to make it happen, even if it's a little half-assed sometimes if I'm exhausted or I just actually don't have the time. But I still do them to the minimum so that I'm not breaking that contract. Everything else, though, setting up, any other extra things other than protections and wards and maybe a couple of good luck charms or things like that, all get put on the back burner. So it sucks, but that's what happens when you get busy. There's something to say of we are humans in the positions that we're in. So I think there's a weird mindset of if you're not practicing to a certain degree every single day, if you're not doing all this spell work, if you're not meditating every day, if you're not communing with your spirits or your deities or ancestors or whatever every single day, then you're not a practitioner, you're not valid. And I wholeheartedly disagree with that. All of us are in these situations in our lives that a capitalistic hellscape, consistently having to work just to survive. I feel like there's this weird mindset of if you're not consistently doing this thing to this full degree, then you're not doing it right. And the craft is a way of life, and being that there are so many different ways to be human, the craft is going to adapt to that, and you are going to adapt your craft to that. I don't know how me talking about a veil has gotten to this, but I think it's an important conversation, and maybe it'll be an over tea video or something of that sort. But it's more of just a mini brain dump, I suppose, of push ourselves to prove to other people and also ourselves that we are that thing or good enough. I didn't really call myself a photographer for years. I would lightly, I'd be oh, I'm into photography. Or I'd be I'd like to be a photographer. But I would never really call myself a photographer up until recently, just because, unless you're not being paid, if you're not being paid for this thing, why would I call myself a photographer? But first of all, I am getting paid in a way, not in a traditional sense, but I am a photographer. I take photos and I do the photography things. So if you casually paint or draw, you are an artist, you are creative. If you dance, even though you don't teach dance, if you consistently like to do this thing, and that's something that is something part of your life and something that enriches your life, then you are that thing. What I'm trying to get at is the practitioner who has the privilege of time to do rituals every single week, every single new moon, every single full moon, every single holiday or whatever the fuck we celebrate. The practitioner who has that privilege to be able to do that and to be able to set up, either elaborate rituals or just to have the time to even set aside to do that. And the one that always looks witchy, the one that is always burning candles or always throwing cards, that person is no more or no less more valid than the other person who the way that their craft looks like and how far their privilege extends only allows them to maybe practice these things on their lunch break at work and go outside and just hang out with the tree, the only tree that's, near right off the side of the parking lot of their workspace. And they connect with that tree every day. And it's they're not sitting there closing their eyes humming to the tree. Maybe they are, but in reality, they have their 30-minute lunch break or whatever, and they just get to sit under this tree and hang out, and like they feel connected, and they feel connection with that tree spirit and with the other spirits that connect with that tree. You know, that person is no less valid than the other person who has the privilege of time. So I think a lot of people don't give themselves enough credit. And also, I think a lot of people think that my craft is a lot more intensive than it is. I am a very low energy person. I've said this multiple times on my channel, but I am not a high energy person by any means. I'm always tired. Highly value my time and where that energy goes. If you stayed for that ramble, thank you. If you didn't, no hard feelings. But I'm going to take some photos, do the readings, and then also probably do a little bit of some spell work now that I have my altars fully set up, or somewhat set up. I don't think they're set up the exact way that I want them, but they're always changing, as such is life. So, yeah, that, and really quick, I promise I'm not going to go on another ramble. I've moved away from my money bowl, oddly enough, because it's been such a staple for me for years, for so long. And now I'm, for some reason, feeling gravitated towards just a general money candle. I've always been a candle person. I really love candles, but we'll see how it goes. It's all about experimentation. And I think that's what I'm going to kind of work on today and just see what it does and how it goes. But yeah, let's do that today. I am taking you to one of the Poland chills right now, which is run by Cam. It started out as a space that was for Black women, and then it turned to BIPOC and queer people and sex workers. And at the moment, she's holding Poland chills for a fundraiser so that she can raise money to open her own studio, her own pole studio. I'll link a couple of other videos that I've been to Poland chills up here. You can find her on Instagram and all of that stuff and keep updated if you are in the Denver area. The reason I really do think that this particular studio is going to be different is Denver is not a super diverse city. It's really diverse compared to the last like 10-15 years ago from when I was growing up here, but it's not a very diverse city, especially after living in LA for a while, and especially after, you know, seeing other cities, like bigger cities like Philly. In Chicago, Cleveland honestly was way more diverse than Denver. That being said, the communities for people of color and queer people and sex workers is still growing here. It's not non-existent, it's just not thriving quite yet. So we'll just have to get there. That's going to be one of the things that Pole Den is going to work on. It's going to be working on specifically focusing on people of color, on queer people, on sex workers. It's going to have stripper style only taught by sex workers. It's going to have twerk and belly dancing only taught by people of color. And it's basically going to be decentering the skinny white girl in pole, is what we see a lot. When pole, like the roots of that is not the skinny straight white girl at all. So it's exciting to see a studio that its goals are not just pole fitness, which, you know, is fine. Pole fitness is fine and it's great, but really celebrating, pushing, and educating on the roots of where not only pole comes from, but a lot of the other styles of dances that will be taught at this studio. So that's my little rant, but we're headed to the Pole and Chill. It's always a vibe. Get ready for it.
I'm not sorry cause that was intentional. I meant every word that I said. Yeah. You get angry with me cause I'm flexible. And of how I like things in the bed. Oh, oh, no. My heart's like an ocean. It's deep and it's open. The one thing I promise, I always be honest. Eternal devotion. If we keep things open, if you love all on me, yeah, then you let me be free, yeah. If you love me, then you let me be free. If you love me, yeah. I noticed you're driven by jealousy. But my soul is nothing you own. No. I want us to love unconditionally. It means that I'm not yours alone. No, no, no. My heart's like an ocean. It's deep and it's open. The one thing I promise, I always be honest. Eternal devotion. If we keep things open, if you love all of me, yeah, then you let me be free, yeah. If you love me.
Whew, I love having hot friends. As always, Poland chills are so much fun, so if you're ever in town and you can make one, definitely try to get a ticket and go. This morning I had a meeting with a different travel company that I used when we went to Iceland. Because I really didn't like that company. There was a lot of issues and errors and miscommunications, and it just like did not, I don't know, it just was not my jam. While thankfully the trip itself came out fantastic and I met some incredible people, the actual planning and the communication with the company that set everything up was just not ideal. So as of September of last year, the same month that Iceland happened, I actually ended up talking to a different travel company. They reached out to me. I was a little skeptical, as I usually am, but it actually went really well. Now, I've been trying to set up another trip because a lot of you have asked if I could, and this time I'm trying to make it more affordable. I'm trying to set up for us to go to Costa Rica, back to the Lands in Love resort that I went to a few years back. I'll put the little vlog here. But essentially it's a animal sanctuary. I'm now actually able to set up the rest of the itinerary and fully launch it sometime soon. So when I do launch it, it'll be on my Instagram first, and then in my next vlog I'll post about it, or I'll tell you about it if we still need spots filled. But yeah, it'll be really exciting. I'm really excited to go back to this resort. We're not gonna get into that. And then I'm actually about to head into a coffee shop to go meet with Mickey. So Mickey works at the Denver Circus Collective, which is not really a pole studio, but it is a aerial studio that also has pole, if that makes sense. So it's not specifically a dance studio or like a pole studio. It's just a lot of different acrobatic type of things and different like circus type of things. So they have poi and different, you know, fire tricks and hooping, and then they also have doubles acro, which is where I went to do that doubles acro with Blakeland in one of my last vlogs. Mickey asked me if I'd be interested in working at the Denver Circus Collective as a pole instructor. So we'll see. That's what the meeting's about. I would love to, but I'm also like not sure if, you know, that's the kind of studio that wants my type of dance or my type of movement, because, you know, each studio has its own kind of thing, its own kind of vibe. So we'll see though. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. But and then after that, I'm probably just gonna sit and edit. I've got deadlines for this vlog. This vlog has to get up a little earlier than usual, but you know, as is deadlines and all that stuff. It's gonna be a long work week, I think, is what's gonna happen. Hello. So I've just received an email from a person named Steven, basically asking if I wanted to be on a reality TV show that is called Love Witches. They want witches to be helping young couples find love with spells, reading, and rituals and any other magic at their disposal. I declined, and I basically was like, maybe you would want actors. That might be better, because a lot of practitioners who are actual practitioners and very experienced probably wouldn't be willing to put enough energy into something like love spells and rituals and readings, and be exploiting their craft and spirits for something like this. And so I was like, but if it sounds like you're looking for more entertainment than you are like actual witchcraft. So I was like, maybe look for that. I don't think Stephen liked that response, which is fair. I have a couple of gripes with this idea for a couple of reasons. Am I out of focus? I can't tell. First of all, I don't want to be on TV. I know that I make content. I'm also really incredibly awkward. They stated, oh, you have like such a nice personality. No, you don't want me on set. Just trust me that I am not somebody that is easy or not awkward to work with. There's a reason that I am a YouTuber, because my staff and the people that I work with includes me and my camera, and sometimes my tax lady, Wendy. So that aside, me just really not being interested in being on TV in the first place, I have a couple of other gripes. First of all, I think the concept itself is actually pretty interesting, but instead of a reality TV show, I would prefer it to be like a written TV show, maybe following some witches that specialize in love spells and people consistently, going to them and having that manifest. And I feel like that would be kind of like a fun sitcom type of thing, like a comedy. I think it'd be a fun dark comedy, honestly. I understand that they want something a little different. And I think that, again, that was creative of them. There was a point in the email that I responded with saying that spells and rituals, everything costs something. Everything comes at a price. Second, again, as you know, actual witchcraft and what people think and want to see are two very different things. Lastly, love spells. I'm sure that any of the other practitioners, that Stephen made it very clear that there were a lot of practitioners that were interested in this, and they didn't need me. I'm sure that they will be doing more of attraction spells and glamours and less of actual love spells, because that history of love spells, witchcraft, and the practice itself, especially folk magic, it comes from a place of need. There's not really people doing witchcraft unless you need something. And love spells specifically came from a place of where women needed to be married. They needed men in order to survive, because women didn't have rights to own a home or have their own money or work or get educated or really do anything. And so women needed love spells in order to attract a man that was able to provide for them, because they weren't allowed to provide for themselves at that time. I don't really know who is going to be on this. I actually don't know a ton of people within this community. So honestly, if they are paying you well and you're just going to kind of like do some whatever little spells that look pretty on camera, good for you, and get your bag, because we all need that bag, especially nowadays. I think, glamours and attractions are totally different, and those are smaller. But again, I think in a reality TV show, this is not going to be full reality. There's a lot of weird things that happen like this since I became a YouTuber, that people will be like, do you want to be on this TV show? And I'm like, no, I don't. I do think that, some people do want to be on the TV show. And honestly, maybe I should send them to some of my glamour friends that are really into like love spell adjacent type of things and, like attractions and glamours and whatnot. It's just been really strange being online. I do everything myself. I don't have a team. I'm not around people for the most part. I film in my room or wherever I'm living at the time. And, go out with some friends sometimes. But like otherwise, this and being on set are two completely different things. Just weird. Also, sometimes people message me and like email me like I have a team, or like talk to me like I'm a celebrity. So like the amount of times, I think at least a handful of times every year, some publishing company reaches out and asks me if I want to write a book. And every time I say no, I don't want to write a book. It's just one of those things that like just don't want to do. I'm not interested in writing a book. I have a lot of ideas for writing books, but I don't want to do it. And I don't want to get a ghostwriter. because if I'm gonna make something, I wanna make it. However, I am more than happy to hand off those ideas to the friends that I have that are writers, that are good at this, and they create something that I could have never, you know, like they create something so much better than I even could have fathomed. It's just the thing of like, I have a platform, and that's the only reason they're reaching out and asking me to write a book, not because I have talked about writing or because I'm an author. There's not like a reason, you know, like they just reach out and like, do you want to write a book? Because we could make money off of you. And I'm like, no, it's not something I want to do. I don't want to do that. I would prefer if you got people that actually wanted to write a book. I have read books by people that aren't passionate about writing a book and they're not good. Like, oh yeah, a publisher reached out and asked me if I wanted to write a book, and I basically just kind of like told them what to write about and they wrote it, and those books are not good. I'm sorry. They're lacking passion, they're lacking information. Just leave it to the people who want to do it. I want to make things that I want to make, and I want to make things that I'm passionate about on a medium that I'm passionate about. So video and photography are the mediums that I'm passionate about. That's how I want to do things. I don't want to capitalize on it. It's honestly really frustrating to basically have people reach out and be like, you have a following. Do you want to do this thing so both of us can make money? It's like, no, I don't. I already do so much fucking work for my YouTube channel and for, you know, my pole students. Like, I do so much fucking work already because I love it and I love doing the work. Mostly. I don't want to do extra work just to make money, just because I have a platform. And that's really frustrating that most brands, most publishing companies, like, they only see the numbers. They don't give a fuck if you're actually passionate about what you're doing. Okay, well, that's my rant. I could rant about being a YouTuber all day long, and I could also talk about really good things, because I do love this. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna actually continue the vlog. Thank you for hanging out for that ramble. If you did, if not, no hard feelings. Good morning. I just finished my throwing kit workshop where I taught how to curate your own throwing kit for divination. It went really well. There were a couple of hiccups, but you know, I'm an old man when it comes to technology, so that was to be expected. I also got a package that I'm really excited about, and I think you'll be excited about too. I have no idea what's in it. I know the idea of the contents, but I don't know it specifically. So let's just clip this on. Here it is. So that's what it looks like. This is from the Curiosities corner. That'll focus. A little card. Thank you card. I like the little doodle. Oh, these are cool. I really like these business cards. They're like embossed in a way. I don't know if you're able to see that, but it's lifted a little bit here. Okay, so this is a Curiosities buyer, seller, collector by the name of Henry, and I found him on Instagram, and he was looking for content creators, influencers that like curiosities, and I was like, well, isn't that interesting? And I told him that I think that my audience would love to see some of the things that he provides. Also, I've seen the way that he packages things. Look at this. The only issue with this is that I don't want to break the packaging because it's so pretty. Okay. There's a tote bag. Ooh. Okay, let's see if I can carefully show this here. So we have a human vertebrae. And a human toe bone. We have a little doll leg. Oh, it's multiple stickers. Okay, cool. Multiple stickers. We have a little pendant. I'll try to get better B-roll of these. It's a rosary. Oh, wow. Oh, this one's got something attached for sure. I can feel that. Wow, that is beautiful. Gorgeous little coffin, and I love using these in Spellwork, so that's really cute. I don't know if there's anything inside. Oh, a duck skull. How cool is that? We have this little box. Oh, and then we have some human cremains in a little vial. I wish I knew who it was. Yes, okay, so that is my oddities box from Curiosities from the Corner. Thank you, Henry, for sending these. That was just like a fun little surprise on just some random Saturday for me. I will leave the link and any information for his shop down below, but he's got some really cool stuff, and just the whole Instagram feed of his is a total vibe. But thanks again, Henry. I'm excited to just kind of like place these all over the place and see what kind of spirits I have now lingering in my space. Thanks for watching this whole very rambly, chatty vlog, if you did stay for any of that. I guess as of late, I've got a lot to say. But as always, thank you so much for watching. Best of luck. Be kind to each other. And may your gods treat you as you've treated others. And remember to live curiously. You never know what you might learn. I'll see you in the next one.